What's going on, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy, thanks for hanging out, and today we're going to be doing a video on Baddest Ladies Part 2 for EDH. Why? Why am I doing this video? Genuinely, I don't know. The other video actually got like a ton of views, so I'm kind of like, cool. I think I started this because I just had like EDH ladies, and I was like, ladies are great, these are cards if you're looking to do a lady EDH deck. I don't really know. I think I just wanted to do another series, and I was like, what should I do? And then I just was like, I haven't done this other video. Let's do that. So the first lady that I want to talk to you guys about is Tatyova. And funny story about Tatyova, I actually think I discovered her when I was looking at Merfolk, and then I was like, oh my god, she's like so good. Every time I just like get her, I'm like, she's such a like fair and balanced and just like really good value card. Like, she gains you life, you get to draw cards. What I really like about this is that you play her and then you can get immediate value off of her. You just like play her, you have 5 lands or so, and then you just like play a land to get value. And then if you're playing like multiple lands, you just get much more value. She reminds me a little bit of Courser of Crufix in a way, other than the fact that Courser doesn't draw you cards. I don't know. It's just like, they're definitely different, but I like having them like both side by side. I think if you're running this color combination, Tatyova is like such a good inclusion in just a variety of different decks. So, and the fact that she's like a Merfolk just is even better because I can run her in that deck and get the added bonuses of that. She's kind of a lot of mana, but like honestly, she's like totally worth it. Wonderful. The next card is such a classic, and that is Reclamation Sage. Reclamation Sage honestly belongs in every green deck because removing an artifact or enchantment is really good, and then you're left with a 2/1 creature at the end of it. Reclamation Sage is one of my favorite creatures. She is like definitely an auto include. She's a card that I have like 10 backup copies of because every time I get one, I just like pop it in my binder because I'm like, if I'm running green, I'm running Reclamation Sage. The next card I'm actually excited to talk to you guys about because this is a new card to me. Well, it's not a new card to me. It's a new card in the format. Why did I say a new card to me? That made no sense. Okay. Is Ayara. Immediately as I saw her, I was like, yes, yes, yes. Okay. She's 3 mana, triple black for a 2/3. When she or another black creature enters a battlefield, each opponent loses 1 and you gain 1. I really like this reminiscent aspect of so many other cards that do very, very similar things to this. But what I really like about it is the stapled on ability, which is sacrifice another black creature to draw a card. I feel like Ayara has 2 great aspects to her that make this card really well-rounded, really multi-purpose. I really, really like the different abilities on her. I love the aspect of drawing cards, and I feel like in black, sacking something is something you just want to do. I think she just belongs in a really good like black, primarily black, I would assume, kind of deck, and she'd also work, I think, really well as a commander. So Ayara is definitely my pick. I'm very high on this card. I really like her a lot. The next card I'm very excited to talk about is Knight of Autumn, and as soon as I saw this card being printed in, what is this set? I have no idea what the symbol is, but whatever this symbol was, I was immediately like, yes, I really like Knight of Autumn because she does a lot of different types of things. I was just talking about her. I've talked about this card plenty of times, but it's just a great dual purpose card. It's 3 mana for a 2/1, and then you can choose one. Now, I love cards that can do multiple things. That's just one of my favorite things in the game. You can put 2 counters on her. I don't normally do this. This is probably like my least picked mode. Or you can destroy target artifact or enchantment, or you can gain 4 life. I love the last 2 abilities. She's just a better version of a lot of other cards like Reclamation Sage. Now, if you're running mono green, Reclamation Sage is still a really, really great card. I just run them both together. It's not a matter of like one or the other. I just run them both. Knight of Autumn is just a really, really good card, and it really just, any green-white deck is gonna want her. She's great. She's got like bright red hair too, so that's pretty cool. Okay, the next card is kind of a throwback, I would say, for me, and that is Thalia, and I'm talking about newer Thalia. I really, really love this art. This has like the really cool Eldrazi symbol thing. from Return to the Eldrazi, basically. Yeah, that's what it's called, right? Return to the Eldrazi. Return to Zendikar, is that something right? Cool. So anyways, she is a really good, death and taxes kind of card, but I think even if you're not running that type of deck in EDH, she's just a really good value type of card. What I really like is it only impacts opponents in terms of creatures and non-basics, and the non-basic aspect I think is really good because I feel like in my play group, a lot of my friends run a lot of non-basics. I think this is a good card that can go in a lot of different types of decks, and also this can be a really good sort of like political slowing down your opponents, which I really like. I think it's really good too because the creatures entering the battlefield tapped means that you can get in for potentially points of damage when, you know, their creature enters the battlefield and you can just swing without worrying about them having to block. And she's got first strike, and she's a 3/2. Like, overall, I think Thalia is just really good. Super excited that I get to talk about Najeela the Blade Blossom. I think Najeela is so incredibly good, and I think the thing that makes it so more people are not running her is because you have to be running 5 color with her. She works really, really, really well as a commander if you're doing warriors, but honestly, even if you're not doing warriors, like, I think it's okay. I think if you have ways of, like, protecting her and making it so, you know, you might have a little bit of warrior synergy, or you might have ways of, like, giving her unblockable or something like that, because, you know, you don't just want to, like, attack with her and then have her die. Like, that's kind of unfortunate. But she's still a really cheap commander in terms of mana cost, which is really good, so you can just kind of, like, recast her. And then you create a 1/1 warrior, and then for all 5 colors, you can untap all attacking creatures. I just noticed that it doesn't say you control, so technically you can do this for your opponents, and you could technically give them additional combat phases if you're playing politics. If my angle changed a little bit, y'all, my camera rudely cut me off. But I was talking about Najeela. Yeah, so Najeela, like, I don't quite remember exactly what I was talking about, but, like, yeah, so you can do politics, so you can, like, maneuver this in a way where you could, like, give your opponents other combat phases to, like, swing at each other, so you can make this a totally political card, like, oh, I'll give you an extra combat if you promise not to attack at me. Like, we've all been there in EDH, which is really good. So, yeah, and I mean, just her ability of gaining, you know, trample, lifelink, and haste, and getting that extra combat phase, like, she is just so incredibly good, and I feel like in the grand scheme of things, like, it's not a lot of mana to, like, activate this. Like, yes, it's 5 mana, and the additional 3 to cast her, so it's like, and it is 1 of each color, which can be kind of challenging, but I feel like for what that is to get all of those abilities is just so incredibly strong. So Najeela is just one of my favorite ladies of all time, probably just one of my favorite cards. She's really good. Wonderful. Speaking of another one of my favorite ladies, that is Eternal Witness. This is similar to a lot of my other cards that are just auto-includes for me. Every single green deck is going to run an Eternal Witness because, honestly, why would you not? This is another card that I just have multiple copies of in my binder. Of my box, of just getting any type of card back. I mean, yes, of course I'm going to run this card. Card is so good, there's not a whole lot to say. Okay, I am really excited because I'm going to be talking about this card that I think is very underplayed, and I think she's really good as a commander or as just an inclusion in this type of deck, and that is Rubina Soulsinger. I think this card, a lot of people might not even know this card, like, exists. I'm not 100% sure, but you can choose not to untap her during your untap step, and then you can gain control of it for as long as she and that creature, for as long as Rubina... Whoa, why is this wording really confusing? Hold on. Gain control of target creature for as long as you control Rubina, and Rubina remains tapped. I understand. I just read that, like, really... I tried to, like, read that in really weird bits in my head, and it didn't make sense. So, anyways, yeah, she's really, really good. You can steal stuff, which is really strong. It is as long as, you control her and you remain tapped, other than it goes back, but I still think she's really good because you can totally steal, like, my favorite thing to do is steal someone's commander, like, let's be honest, because that just really totally impacts their whole board. So, Rubina, great card. Okay, the next card I want to talk to you guys about is a card that, honestly, she needs a reprint because she's expensive, and her foil. Oh, the foil is actually not that bad right now. The foil is only $20, which I should pick up some. I should pick up some foil of these, and that is Tireless Tracker. Tireless Tracker is probably just like one of the best ladies, period. Like, she's incredible. It is a she, right? I feel like I have one of these every video. Oh my god, what did I do? So I just had some in-depth looks at this art, and it is really awesome. Can we just like talk about the purple in the background? I'm like totally about this. Anyways, she's got like double wielding swords. Yes, please. Anyways, Tireless Tracker, great card. One thing I really like about Tireless Tracker is that since you do investigate and you do put counters on her whenever you sack a clue, so if you're running any other clues, this synergizes with this too, which is really great. Whenever you sack a clue, you can put a +1 counter on her, so you can totally go like really big with her, and you can make her really big. But the typical way I've just seen her being played is you just play a bunch of lands and you investigate and you get clues and you draw cards. Like, she's so good. I love the fact that you can just draw a bunch of cards with her. Great card. I need to get more copies of this card, honestly. And I think we're ending on a pretty good note, and that is talking about Narset, talking about creature Narset here. And it's funny, I was actually looking through my cards the other day, and then I came across this Narset, because I've pulled this card aside a really long time ago, and I thought maybe one day I'll build Narset. I don't really know. I'm kind of thinking about it, to be honest. I think once some of my other projects die down, I might build Narset. I just think she's really interesting as a commander, and I feel like there's a lot of people that I've seen do like Storm with her and things like that, but she's 3 and then America colors for 3/2, first strike, and hexproof, which as a commander makes her really incredibly challenging to deal with, which is great because she's got hexproof. And then when she attacks, you exile top 4 cards of your library, and until end of turn you may cast non-creature spells without paying their mana costs. A builder on Narset would be really interesting because you wouldn't want to run a lot of counter spells and things with like X in their cost, but any like big dumb things, you can just like play a bunch of things. Any type of like non-creature stuff, I feel like you could just do really silly things. Or I think if you're just like running this color, I feel like it'd be a little bit harder to like jam this in a deck, but I think her as a commander would be so incredibly strong. I think you could just do really cool things, play some infinite combos, play some other really sweet non-creature spells that you just cast for free, so without paying your mana cost. I mean, like, that's the best thing, right? And it is when it attacks, not when it deals combat damage, so even if she dies, you just attack and you still do your thing, which is really good. So guys, that is it. That is it for 10 more badass ladies for EDH that you can run as commanders, that you can run in your deck, all that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like it if you did, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next video.